Hi guys, welcome back to Sports Khabri with me, Aradi and Rishi, and we are here to discuss the FIFA Club World Cup. Yeah, as you know, we're hardcore, football fans. We stay up 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. We are watching every game of this FIFA Club World Cup for sure. Yeah, who am I kidding? Honestly, I have watched no games at all. This FIFA Club World Cup, I'm just watching the highlights and stuff. But it is quite cool that the way the quarterfinals are set up, it is very interesting. A lot of surprises. I think you want to start off with the big surprise. I think Al-Hilal beating Manchester City 4-3. You got Fluminense beating Inter 2-0. But I'm sure we're going to discuss, like, from an Asian perspective. We're all from Asia. I'm sure we want Asian teams to do well as well. At least me, like personally, I want the Asian teams to do well. I want a better recognition for AFC and the Confederation, and I want Al Hilal to go as deep as they can in this competition. Obviously, Urawa could not, so I'm hoping the other big team, which is Al Hilal, can. But yeah, let's start off. Rishi, bro, no bigger upset than Inter Miami losing to PSG. What do you think? Going into it, I'm sure you said Messi will just walk through this PSG defense. He'll walk through the PSG midfield, and it probably Inter Miami end up winning 4-0, but it just didn't quite happen, did it?
No, I don't think that's what I said. I said Inter Miami
Oh,
playing with a bunch of 35, 40-year-olds are not able to, will not be able to keep up with PSG, and ultimately that's what happened. I wasn't surprised at all, bro.
damn.
Like, I mean,
Bro, why? What is how many lies you'll tell, bro? You literally said I think the MLS teams are so good. I love the MLS. Messi for life, MLS
actually,
for
true,
life, and
bro.
all.
MLS goated teams. True. What a goated team, bro. I
Bro,
can't lie. It was so unfair. But
yeah,
yeah,
but
anyway,
it didn't happen.
I think, bro, a bigger upset than that was what happened to Inter and Inter losing to Fluminense. And I don't know if we should call Al Hilal versus Man City an upset because every club
Damn.
is an oil club
Oof.
until the real oil club comes in. Because they just came
But it's
and
quite cool, no?
like
Because
What
it's
does
still
that even
insane.
mean,
It is an
brother?
upset.
huh?
What does
It's
that
not an
even
upset.
mean?
The like, bro, the bigger oil club just came and like, listen, you're an oil club. You're just there. Just stay in your limits. We are the oil club.
Interesting.
But you know, it's still kind of cool because at the end of the day, Al Hilal can only field five foreign players, and still
Correct,
they managed to beat Man City.
I
bro.
don't
They
think that's
that
Yeah, fair play, bro.
I don't think that's
bro.
true, right?
They have Al Dasavri, you know.
I don't think that's true though. They have
Yeah, yeah,
what
they
they
have. That's the Saudi
and
Arabian captain.
Yeah,
brother, they played their entire
Ah,
European
no, no,
team.
no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Obviously, in this comp, yeah, I think yeah, it applies in AFC, but not here. But I'm saying in general, it's not like these players play together on a regular basis because they can't. They cannot do that in the AFC competitions anyway. It's still
yeah,
pretty,
that's true.
pretty good the fact that these guys were probably like all of them playing together for the first time because they can't play eight, nine foreign players at the same time. To do this is pretty cool.
I
That's
mean,
true.
at the end of
And
the day, it's European players, so you can't be like it's a great feat. Like you have guys like Malcolm who's played UCL, played for Barcelona, and Bono who's played football for Sevilla. You had Koulibaly who's won the UCL. It's not Cancelo who's won the UCL. Yeah, Milenko Savic who's played high level football. So Neves who's played high level football. So it's not really a big feat. These guys have already played teams like City before, so I wouldn't say it's the biggest feat. But yeah, I mean, when you say Al Hilal beat City, it sounds big, right? Because of the fact that Al Hilal, I think we only started knowing what Al Hilal was from the past 1 year. Before that, we didn't even know who played there, if it even existed. But yeah, if you look at it, the only reason that they're the only Asian team or they're the one of the weaker teams going through is because, well, they have the best team outside Europe. You can say that in terms of talent, in terms of money. They basically have a proper European team. Like you can't. That's what I was saying, Rishi. Also, like they have a European team. It's not like City is going and playing an Asian team. They're going to. It's like playing another European team. Maybe this team can easily be a top seven, top eight team in the Premier League if they're playing there. So it's not really a weak team where you're going into it saying, okay, Al Hilal, it's if they win, it's going to be a huge upset, but it's regardless an upset because of the way City have spent money again last season. Their transfer window in the winter came back this summer. They bought an entire new midfield, with Shirky, with the Reindeers. They bought a couple of defenders. They bought another striker in the winter summer. So winter transfer. So it is like, okay, you have Pep Guardiola spending a lot of money. And yeah, I think when it comes down to that, it is an upset in terms of you can't go into a competition with such huge investment, so much money spent, and still losing to the same old ways you have been losing over the past, let's say, 1.5 years. So yeah, I think that's the thing, bro. I
Yeah.
think
Uh,
overall, Al-Hilal, they play pretty well. I think I could see them play well against Real Madrid also, like the way they played against Real Madrid. They were very unlucky to not be like 2-0 up at least that game before they equalized later on. And yeah, I mean, to be fair, Al-Hilal, you would expect them to play pretty high level football because of the investments they've had. And again, you could see that in the way they played, against Real Madrid, against City. They didn't look out of place. It literally looked like at least like an UCL team playing, football. And it shows, like, I think they've been dominating football for a while, in Asia especially.
yeah, I mean, dominating. They did lose the league this year, so like, it's not like they're
They lost to
absolutely
another
coasting.
European team only. It's not like they lost to some.
No, but at the end of the
Well,
day,
they
in the
lost.
Saudi Pro League, you can't play more than you can't. You have to play six Saudi Arabian players. You can't play all foreigners. So you
I
can only
don't think
play five foreigners in
I
that
don't
league.
think the rule
Anyways,
exists in Saudi
that
league.
is the rule.
No, it's not in the Saudi league. It's
It
only
No,
does.
there in
Saudi.
It
no
is.
Saudi league. It's not
It
there.
is
I'm
there in the
sure.
Saudi league.
Okay, but okay, if you have to
I'm
go check,
fair.
you have to go check it. But again, the point is, bro, like you can't compare them losing to a league against a team that has Benzema, N'Golo Kante, etc. It's again a very high level team you're playing. Like
Yeah,
that's the point. Like it's
it's
like
it's a it no, but Adi, yeah, the foreigner rule exists by the way. But like I'm just saying, like I think you can't take away the fact that they play with six Saudi Arabian players every week, every game. And for them to turn up and just randomly like that and beat a decently like a pretty well stacked City team, to be fair again, is not a light feat for an Asian team especially. And they lost the league this year, and
I mean,
I don't know
Rahul,
how.
the point is,
Yeah,
you say if they had only Saudi players and they went and beat Man City, I think that's a huge feat. That's my point. You have guys like Neves. Neves was playing Premier League 2 years ago. It's not like he didn't leave football because he retired or he's old. He went there because of the lucrative offers he got as a contract. You look at Mitrovic. He was playing in the Premier League 1.5 years ago. He used to score a lot of goals. It's not like these guys have never played in the Premier League and they're tussling against a team that's out of the league. That's the point. Like these guys are at the same level. Like
no,
that's
but
a
bro,
it
my
is a
point is like, okay, yeah, fine, fair enough. That's okay. Like the fact that they have players who are good footballers, very good footballers. But again, like a Neves was not playing for an Arsenal or a City or a United or whatever. He was playing for Wolves at the end of the day. He was playing for Wolverhampton
but that
Wanderers. We
but
can't
that
take that
Rahul,
fact away.
that doesn't
that
change the fact that he was an excellent footballer.
yeah,
Nonetheless, he
like
was a
I'm not.
top
I'm not
level
saying
Premier
that. I'm
League
not saying.
midfielder.
I'm absolutely. I completely agree that he was
But
really good player. But at the end of
Rahul,
the day, it's not
I
like
really
these guys
think
are coming from.
Ruben Neves walks into United's midfield and Tottenham's midfield today, not when he was leaving
Fair
Wolves.
enough.
I'm talking
Fair
about
enough.
today.
But I'm.
So it's not fair to him.
But would you say? But okay. But look at the rest of the team. You take Neves out. Okay, Koulibaly, who is aged. Um, right, and then you've got Renan
that's
Lodi.
not
Renan.
valid. You can say his age. Like again, it's
Yeah,
just not a
his
matter of
age.
being aged, right? Like the reason he
Okay,
left.
would you guys take Renan? Okay, at your respective football clubs, would you take Renan Lodi, for example?
Now the
I don't
point
think
is
you would right now.
but that's out of context.
My left back is Luke Shaw, so I'm taking Renan Lodi.
Bro, Rashid, you're taking the piss right
I'm
now.
not even
Rahul,
kidding.
but that's out
Um,
of context. If you're saying if a team, top level team needs a left back, a team like, I mean, a player like Lodi, who isn't the worst case scenario. He played for Atletico Madrid. He played high level football. He played UCL. He played in the La Liga. That's the
Exactly.
point. Like you can't call him a low
just
level.
I can't say just because he's played in the Champions League that it's small for a player. Like, see, for example,
Rahul,
like imagine.
Rahul, also you should consider that these
Okay,
guys aren't your typical retirement, nearing retirement cases where they're done with high level football and they just want to walk into the
Okay.
sunset. The only reason they're moving
Okay.
here is, or I'd say not the only reason, like the very big reason that they are moving here is for the money. These guys are still elite level
Fine.
athletes, although they're
Bro,
not
they are
playing the
not
highest
elite
level
level
competition.
athletes. One second, Renan Lodi, before he came to Al-Hilal, was at
He was in
Marseille. It was not
Atletico.
like he
He was
went to
He
Marseille and then he went to
yeah,
Al-Hilal.
that
It's not like he got a if he was that if you're saying he was that stature of a footballer from Atletico Madrid, he would have got a better move. It's not like these guys are like insanely like there,
and
like right there
logic is
at the
flawed.
European level.
You can say Shirky was playing for Olympic Lyon last season. You can't say because he's playing City now, suddenly he's the great player. But if he was playing for Lyon, he's not the great player he
No, my
was.
point is, bro,
That's
my
what
point is if I'm saying you guys also know that these are not the best crop of footballers today. The fact that they've gone and beat up Manchester City without even playing with each other every single day. They five of them eventually play in the Saudi Pro League. Five of them play in the AFC Champions League. That's it. And they also didn't win the AFC Champions League by the way this year. The Al-Hilal won the AFC Champions League. They lost the league in Saudi Arabia. They lost the league in Asia, their league in Asia, and they've gone and beaten Manchester City. I think it's a big deal.
Of course,
I
Rahul,
mean,
it is a big deal. Like it is. I'm not saying it
Yeah,
is
that's all
not
I'm
a big
saying.
deal, but would you say what would you say is a bigger deal? A team like Urawa Reds beating Man City or a team like Al Hilal beating Man City? I
I
would
Rahul,
think
one,
say
both of them are
like
equally
at this
important.
point I would say a mid-table championship team beating Man City would be a bigger surprise to me than Al Hilal beating
that's fair.
No, 1 second. How are we saying
Man City.
Urawa Reds beating City is any Urawa Reds 2 years back were AFC Champions League winners. Al Hilal won I think last year, and this year Al Ahly won. So it's not like there's 1 year apart from Urawa Reds winning and Al Hilal winning the Champions League. Or I don't even think Al Hilal won. I think they lost
I
the
think
final to Urawa
Al-Hilal
Reds, if I'm
No,
won
not
it
wrong.
Al
this year.
Hilal
Won it this year, if I'm not
Al
No,
wrong.
this
Hilal won
year
it this
Al
yeah
Ahly won it this year. Al Ahly won it this year.
No, I think it's
AFC
Al-Hilal.
Champions League.
Yeah.
It was
So yeah.
Al-Hilal this year. It was
No, Al
Al-Hilal.
Ahly won.
Sorry, Al-Ali. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's not
Again,
like
Al-Ali is again from Saudi. Just to
it does
put it.
not matter. My point is Al
And
Hilal
wait,
are not dominating
I
Asia
think
or anything.
no. The point is, regardless of that, I think the fact of you saying that again, I checked the rules. I think 7-8 players are allowed to play for the Saudi teams because the last game they played, they had 8 foreigners on field, like Al-Hilal. So I don't think it's a matter of okay, these guys are playing for the first.
Which last game? Which last game?
Sorry.
Which game? Which game? Which game? In
The
the Saudi
last
Pro League, it's not allowed. No,
Yeah,
it's not
you
allowed.
can go check. You can just check the last game. They did have 8 players playing that game.
Which
Seven or
game?
eight.
Which game? Which game?
The
What?
last
Which
game where
game
they
was it?
won 4-0. Al Hilal. The last game they played was Al Fateh. On 16th May, they had
No,
yes.
last league game they played was Al Qadisiyah on 2-0 26th May. That was the
Okay.
last league game they played.
Go to 16th May when they played in the Saudi Pro League with Al Fateh. They had
Okay.
Mitrovic playing strike. They had Milenkovic Savic. They had Malcolm. They had
Mm-hmm.
Ruben Neves, Lodi, Koulibaly, Bono. That's literally 7 right there. So yeah,
Yeah,
again,
that's fair. Yeah.
and Cancelo missed because he was out of injury, if I'm not wrong. But again, bro, that's again the point. The point is, as Rishi said, bro, if like an MLS team is going and beating, I think teams like Fluminense, who doesn't have one European player, Thiago Silva at 40 years old, dominating Inter, that's a huge story. It's because, bro, you're creating your own players. These guys play in Brazil for their entire life, or mostly they're not. These players mostly are not going to come and get a chance to play European football. This is the only time they can play against a European team. I think that's huge. You look at the entire Halila squad. Like Bono's played a long time for Sevilla and La Liga. Like that's the point. It's even if you're saying these guys didn't play for City. I mean, Cancelo literally played for City, for example. Malcolm literally played for Barcelona at a point of time. These guys are not players who are not well off to play against these teams. They are suited to play here. They've been able to play here before, and that's the point. That's the point. If it was like, let's say, a BFC going against, let's say, Man City with the current team we had and we beat them, that's unprecedented. That's a huge feat. But if you see Halilal, bro, Halilal, I think they can beat a team like Wolves example in the Premier League if it comes down to it. Like just saying, if you just put it out there, and then what's the difference? Like if you see Wolves beating a City, it's not going to be a huge story in Premier League where you're going to sit and be like, okay, that's a crazy story. This is out of the blue. Like, it's like some inspirational story. It's possible in a league. Like it is possible because they have the quality in the Premier League. I think that's the same here. Like these guys are Premier League footballers. Like I think every foreigner there can play the Premier League pretty easily. It's not like they will struggle in the Premier League, and most of them have played. But yeah, I mean, still,
No,
regardless,
but it doesn't. It's That's what I'm saying. It still does not take away the fact that it's an upset.
it is an upset because of what City are. I think at the end of the day, you look at the way City
Yeah,
played.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
think
Yeah.
I think they should have won
Now,
it.
keep in mind,
Mm.
see, for example, like these guys, at least your Cancelo, your Sergi Milinkovic-Savic, your Ruben Neves, and if they want to come back to Europe, they can come and play for mid-table European teams, even today. Now, to put it
Yeah,
into
but that's
context,
what I'm saying.
if a team like Botafogo were to go on and beat Man City, Botafogo has guys like Alex Telles. Now, to put it into context, after United, he went to Al Nassr. I don't think he was great at Al Nassr, and I think he wanted to go back to play for his domestic club or whatever. Like, he is at that stage of his career. So, when you have players of that, like in their full and final stages of their career where they want to come and play for their hometown clubs, like your Thiago Silvas, like your Alex Telles, then it makes a lot of difference. But guys who are in their late 20s, early 30s, who have moved for like the obvious financial benefits, it's not the same. It simply isn't the same. Like Adi said, I wouldn't be
No,
surprised at all if Al Hilal were to go on and beat Wolves or Ipswich Town or things like teams like that.
no, I don't think it's obviously not as big as, for example, like you take even South American teams, dude. Like I would still say, like, okay, there is a lot more for football culture. Even for the Saudi Arabian players to be playing together with all of these players is a big deal. I think for Al Nassr to be there,
Of
and they've
course,
got like a couple of
of
others.
course,
Hmm? Yeah, so I
of
think
course it
it's
is. Of
still a
course.
pretty big deal for the fact that there is Saudi Arabian representation and the fact that they are doing pretty well. So I mean, okay, like fair play, like it's okay, but just moving ahead, anything else expected? Of course, Al-Hilal and Fluminense may be the only two teams that uh, Palmeiras as well. If looking at that, looking from a Brazilian perspective, that these teams are in the final eight. Palmeiras play Chelsea, Al-Hilal play Fluminense. Of course, that one of them will go. PSG, Bayern, and Real Madrid, Dortmund. So yeah, let's talk Palmeiras, Chelsea then. Any Are you guys expecting to see something interesting?
It's
Or
for me, it's the same. I think I told previously also with Chelsea, they are a bit susceptible in terms of their defense. They can, leak goals if it comes down to it. But again, you look at these teams, the European teams for me, they are still at a higher level. Like even talking about City losing to someone like Al-Hilal, at the end of the day, it was a lot down to set pieces and not able to defend those set pieces, counter attack plays better. I think that's what City have been struggling, and like it looks like they're still struggling with it, which is okay, whatever it is. But apart from that, you look at the European teams, even like someone like Chelsea are able to like sustain and beat the teams outside, like let's say outside Europe. I think that's the point. I think w- with Flamengo, it was a different story because they're very physical and they're very good at it. But I don't think it's the same. That to that degree, it's the same thing with Palmeiras. I think overall the Palmeiras team are a bit sus in my opinion. I don't think they're the greatest of quality. They don't have much in attack. They don't have much even in defense. So I think Chelsea can, if Chelsea like they have a better, let's say, talent overall. So I think it should be a Chelsea win based on what I've seen this tournament in terms of both teams. But again, it's a knockout stage, so it depends on how the team plays that day. Like you still can have surprises, like because of the fact that it's a one-off game. Someone like Palmeiras will tend to defend a bit more deeper, which Chelsea really struggle. Like I think with Delap coming in, it helps them a bit more to play those low blocks because Jackson was someone who liked to play uh, high line defenses. But apart from that, I think they can struggle if they tend to just take it a bit lightly and not able to unlock those low blocks. If Palmeiras plays like that, first of all, I don't think they really do play that kind of football. But apart from that, bro, like that's a problem. I think at this stage, I would expect all the European teams to go through to the finals. Like I don't see any real upset. The only thing is, okay, all the
Mm,
European teams are on one side of the bracket, while you have a lot of Asian teams and Brazilian teams on the left side. So yeah, the only European team I think on the other side is what Chelsea, if I'm not wrong. I think they have a
Yeah.
mm.
chance. What it's I think it's what Al-Hilal, Fluminense,
It's
and
Al Hilal,
Palmeiras.
yeah,
Fluminense, Palmeiras, Chelsea on one side,
Chelsea.
PSG, Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid, Dortmund on the other side.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I think, bro, that's luckily with the bracketing system, it's a bit fine. Like you can still have if you out of all these teams, I think Dortmund Chelsea would have been the best team for a non-European team to play, like in terms of trying to progress to the final. So like win against some European team. I think that's the thing with left side. I wouldn't be surprised if a team like Al Hilal reaches the final because of this. Because if Al Hilal plays a team like Chelsea, I think they are dangerous enough to like score against Chelsea and just nick it out if nick a win if they really need to. I think that matters a bit more in terms of the bracket being this lucky in the way it's seeded. But yeah, on the other side, it literally looks like a European, like a UCL draw. It is nothing else. Like even yesterday, watching
Yeah.
Real Madrid Juventus, you can say it's a UCL draw, but yeah, we'll have to see because unfortunately, what I've seen from the teams this tournament, like you can say it's a nice tournament, but the European teams, what I tend to see is they don't play the highest level they can. Like all the teams I've seen them play, like it's very slow. It's very slow pace. It's almost like an international game, bro. It's not really much where they're trying to press. They're not like I was watching Real Madrid Juventus yesterday. Like both the teams were impressing. Like most of the time they didn't even want to press. Every time they had the ball, it's more sideways than trying to have that intention to score, play more penetrative passes, etc. So I think the level of, let's say, quality has been a bit subdued in terms of intensity. So at least coming to the quarters, I hope it's just more intense because I've not seen that from
Mm,
the European teams, like me personally. Like yesterday also, I couldn't like believe that okay, this is a Real Madrid Juventus game. Like it was pretty subdued the way they played both of them.
Rishi, Real Madrid, Dortmund, any surprises that I mean, obvious surprise would be Dortmund winning.
Yeah, dude. I feel Dortmund have been pretty under par like this entire tournament. They haven't been convincing at all. Even in the previous game, they had a very, very big scare against Monterrey, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So, uh, yeah, like it's pretty much the same Dortmund story. And when it comes to Real Madrid, also, like they were a bit iffy in their group stages, as they always are. Then when it comes to the knockout stages, they get serious and they start betting teams. So I don't think it'll be any different. As like I don't think it'll be any different from the previous Real Madrid campaigns, like knockout campaigns at least.
Mm, mm. PSG Bayern, Adi?
For me, I think PSG should go through because I think they're the only team for me I've seen throughout the tournament who's maintained that high intensity. Even though they've lost Dembele, I think last game he played a bit, but apart from that, he hasn't been playing this entire tournament. But the team, the way they played, the intensity is still there. Even against Inter Miami, the last game, even though it's Inter Miami, like without Messi, that team is nothing. Like Busquets is old, Jordi Alba is old, Suarez is old. Like you really don't have to play at such a high level to get a win against them. But the way PSG were playing the first half, they were like what 3-0 up if I'm not wrong. And the way they were playing, it was intense. Like they were pressing left, right, center. They were ensuring, the ball was on the other half of the field. Like they were just putting the pressure on Inter Miami the entire first half, and it looked like they are there to play. Like their intensity was there. Even the first game when I saw against Atletico Madrid, they were very intense the way they played, the way they were able to, counter, etc. So I think PSG is our one team who's taken this tournament seriously. I think you should expect that with someone like Luis Enrique. I think he is a winner. He expects every game to be played at a high level, and that's something I've been able to see from PSG the most till now. Like I think that's one thing. With Bayern, I haven't really watched a lot of Bayern this year. I mean, this Club World Cup. I think the only game I saw was against Auckland, and I really can't tell much about Bayern through that. But what I've watched throughout the season, I think is the same thing, bro. I think their defense is a bit weak. Like overall, they are dangerous with Harry Kane and their front three with Olise and whoever plays left wing. Sometimes it's Coman, sometimes it's Sane. But apart from that, I think they do struggle with their defense. I still think they're going to find the same issues. I would put a PSG win just for the fact that they have their confidence through the UCL. They've been playing the same way throughout this tournament. I don't even know if they've conceded a goal this tournament. Like if I'm honest, I think they only conceded one goal against Botafogo.
Yeah,
But
the Botafogo.
they've been very consistent. They've been playing at a high level. I think they should win it against a Bayern team who, for me, generally is very erratic.
Mm. And finally, Rishi Fluminense Al-Hilal.
Ooh, it's interesting. I actually don't know who's going to go through. I mean, I want to say Al-Hilal, but Fluminense have also been very good this tournament. Like, although they drew against Mamelodi.
Rishi, who's been your favorite player from Fluminense?
I'll tell you, bro. It's Arias.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
John Arias.
Oh, shiz. Yeah. Same.
Then number 21. Really?
Oh, yeah, bro, dude. That guy. He and Thiago Silva have dominated this year, bro.
Correct. Yeah, anyway. So I don't actually know who's going to go through. Based on the City performance, I want to say Al-Hilal, they're usually very compact and hit teams on the break. But that's pretty much how Fluminense have been in this tournament also, from what I hear and very little of what I see. So I don't know. It's going to be very close.
I would say Al-Hilal should go through, bro.
Yep,
It's
fair enough.
thing.
Go for it.
Nothing. Yeah, I was just saying.
Come
I
on,
think Al-Hilal.
I'm backing you.
Bro, that's the thing. I would rather have
I
any
want
of
some
these three
Asian
teams go into the final. Like,
representation.
yeah, I mean, Asian without Asian. I think for me, more of I don't mind the underdogs having wins here, and
Who's
bro,
the
that's what
underdog here?
from this game. I would say Fluminense because, bro, what do you mean? That's literally a
Yeah,
European
actually.
team.
Yeah, that's literally a European, B-Tech European team. Yeah, never mind.
You have Malcolm playing there instead of playing in some Brazilian league. Like that's the point. But yeah, you have Lodi also playing there. But yeah, bro, I think for me, what I expected from this tournament was more upsets. Unfortunately, I don't think we've gotten that to that degree because, bro, that's the thing. I don't know how you guys have liked this tournament. Like, I think you'll have to tell that. But for me, I did come into this tournament thinking, okay, we'll have like high intensity games between the lower teams versus the bigger European teams where, you would find shock upsets. But bro, unfortunately, we haven't gotten that. Like, even teams like Juventus have been pretty bad throughout this tournament. Like, when they played City and Real Madrid, like, they were poor. But they were able to win final 4-0 against, Al-Hilal, and I think they play one more team. I don't remember who. But that's the thing. Like, even Dortmund were able to win throughout this thing. The only real upset you got was Botafogo beating PSG. But apart from that, like, this tournament has been a bit, like, underwhelming in terms of the smaller teams winning against the bigger teams, which I wanted. But so yeah, I think that's a fact. I maybe hopefully coming to the semis, like we get some upsets, like Chelsea losing or like someone going to the final from the left side of bracket and maybe even winning the tournament. You never know. Like Al-Hilal winning the tournament, even though you can say it's not a big shock in terms of the players, it will still be a big thing. Like, you would expect someone like PSG, City, Real Madrid winning the first Club World Cup. But if that doesn't happen, it's a bit of like, okay, you can say, yeah, maybe there is something in this tournament. But that's the problem. If you have a Club World Cup where every year it's the European teams that's winning, then what's the point of having a Club World Cup? Like, the point itself doesn't make sense, right? So that's the thing for me. Like, it should be a fair chance for everyone to win the World Cup. Or there's no point of having a 2 month competition where at the end you'll find some two European teams playing the finals, and then it will be them who eventually win. So you could have just made it the
Mm.
normal Club World Cup where you have 2 weeks of Club World Cup games where the champions play each other, and then you get the European. It's always the European team that wins. So if that happens even in the longer, elongated Club World Cup, for me, I don't understand the point of the Club World Cup itself. Like, so yeah, that's my point of view.
I haven't actually really watched much to comment on it. I barely watched, I think, one game. Um, but yeah, I've been watching the highlights every now and then. But yeah, nothing major to comment on it. But yeah, just in general, I still haven't really taken to the tournament. Hopefully, in the next year I will. And let's not in next year, I know the next edition is, but maybe even the coming stages. That especially if one of the smaller teams makes it, I'll definitely watch the semis
Raj,
and
you're gonna
finals.
be some
And
30-year-old uncle by the time the next Club World
yeah,
Cup
I know, but
is.
I'm saying like if at least if one of the Asian teams or the Brazilian teams makes it, I think I'll go to the semis and finals for sure. But right now, at this point, uh, there's some cricket to focus on. But anyways, just sign off with that. The quarterfinals are up. We've already discussed quarterfinals and named the quarterfinals, and yeah, hopefully we'll be back after that as well to discuss it. I think we will all catch the quarterfinals at least. But yeah, everyone, please do like and share the video, subscribe to Sports Kabaddi, and we'll see you soon. I think we'll be doing some cricket stuff soon. Bye.